I get this call. It was like, yo, Ye wants to start this choir.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is Ye? He was like, man, Kanye. I was like, Kanye West wants to start a choir? He was like, yeah. He said, and everywhere we turn, everybody we talk to, it comes right back to you, like you're the choir guy. So they call me, and like everything, Ye wants everything yesterday.
Yeah.
Everything yesterday. So it was Wednesday, and he was like, I need you to find me 100 singers by Friday. It was Wednesday, L.
Go. Let's go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We have another incredible guest for you today, as we do every week. Lots of the leaders of the music industry are coming on the show, having long conversations with me about how they got where they are, where they're going, their philosophies, their mindset, their predictions, how they push through and persevere every single day, and how they grow. So we hope that you are loving the show. So with that being said, today we have an incredible guest. He is a leader of the vocal contractor, vocal director, choir director world. His name is Jason White. You most likely know him from the Sunday Service Choir, Kanye West's viral group. As soon as it hit the scene, it was everywhere. People wanted to know more about it. What is it? How do I see it? It was one of the most incredible musical experiences I've ever witnessed in my life. Jason is the leader of the Sunday Service Choir. But even besides that, he has done so much in the music industry. Recently, he's been working with T.I., Will Smith, Jennifer Hudson, Beyoncé, Elton John, Harry Styles, and in the past worked with Whitney Houston, Carr, Mary J. Blige, and has extensively worked with Ye. He has vocal contracted for America's Got Talent, American Idol, X Factor, the Grammys, a lot of TV shows. And Jason's a really great guy. He's a fun guy. We're friends off camera, so this interview kind of just starts because as soon as he came over, we just immediately started talking, and we hadn't even hit record on all the cameras yet. So Jason is a vibe. I love the guy. I'm sure you will too. He's got a really vibrant personality, very passionate. We're going to roll right into it, but we hope you love the show. If you like it, please subscribe, share it with any friends of yours, music-loving friends, music professionals, aspiring professional students, etc. We're going to go deep with this as we always do, and we do episodes every single week with all top people in music. Let's go. If you got any questions, hit us in the comments. We'll be responding to everything. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy our conversation with Jason White.
I'm in here with L Boogie. Oh, wow. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, which one? George Clinton or Quincy?
Quincy,
the Quincy
man.
Jones one, man.
Quincy, man. And what is it with these greats? How have God blessed you like this, man?
Man, thank God. Yeah. Everything one step at a time, man.
Yeah.
Naturally, organically.
Yeah.
Doing my thing, staying on my path. And then, I mean, similar to you, man.
Is that the secret, L? You said something. You said stand on your path.
Staying on your path, bro. Absolutely.
And so you have to know what it is, right?
You gotta know your path, or you gotta know you.
Yeah.
And you gotta just do you, which is easier said than done, I think, for some people. For me, luckily, I've just done me, and that was it. And I kind of let go at a young age. I kind of realized that I was not going to go a normal path. I just wanted to do my thing. I was always different. And I was like, I'm just going to keep going. And then once you start getting those little validations that you doing you is the right thing to do, those little validations, take those and run, and then just keep stacking them, and then just keep going. And
then it sounds like you were secure being you. And
so that came older as well. I was always secure as a drummer. Yeah, when I was 12, 13, 14, by the time I was 15, I remember being aware that I was like, oh, I'm a very good drummer. I'm better than most people. And I'm better than everyone my age.
You knew that at 15?
Yeah, because I would watch VHS videos of drummers, of like my favorite drummers.
Yeah.
And then I would go and try to do that. And I could usually do it if I practiced, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd see other drummers play, and I was like, I'm better than all these people that that are around me, but I wasn't cocky at all, but I just knew I was like, I also played all the time.
Yeah.
So I was dedicated, you know?
I got you. And I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing wrong. I think we all have to have a knowing of who we are, knowing of what it is that I got. Now, one thing that has happened with you and with all of us, we've gotten in a room and we knew, whoa, I don't do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you may know what it is that you do, but I think it's just like the football player that is the top dog at high school, and when he gets to college and he's behind the third running back because all of the guys that have come from all across the country is like, whoa. And so what it does, it makes you work harder. It makes you say, whoa, I don't have that. Or you can go in your shell and beat yourself up, or you can get with those same guys and get in the room and see how it is that you can work it, and how it is that you can take the skills that you have and watch. I think that has been so much, and I know I'm just jumping in.
No, it's great. Yeah.
I know I'm just jumping in, but that has been the great thing of knowing that I didn't do that.
Yeah.
There was a pivotal time in my life, probably like 1986. I was going to the 10th grade and I was going into jazz band. I was trying to get it, but I was the top dog in our, I'm a religious guy. And so I grew up in church. I grew up in church, and growing up in church in my sector or in my jurisdiction or in my district, I was the top dog.
Yeah.
And I went to a youth congress. I went to a youth event, but it was kind of like a national event. And it was all of these musicians. And there was this little chubby kid with glasses, and his name was Mike Burrell.
Wow.
And he was playing the raised 13. He didn't know what he was playing, but he was doing the 13th, and he had the sharp nines, and he had all of these things. And I was like, I don't do that. I know my hymns and I know my foundation, but and I had never heard anything like that. I'm like, Lord, I want that.
Yeah.
How do I get that? And so I recognized I didn't have it. So I had to go back. And I think that we need to be in rooms like these JAMCARD rooms, these JAMJAM rooms, where you see somebody and you're standing up and you think you're the blah, 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 or you feel like you have a certain thing, but you get there in that room and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Corey Henry. Whoa.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But you know who you are.
Yeah.
And it's not a doubting, but you see something else that makes you go back. And I think we all need that moment to go back. Yeah,
man. You always, first of all, I'm lucky to be able to surround myself with people that I look up to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and that happened to me when I was 15, and I got into a band that was all in their mid-20s. So I was the baby, and they were all they had 10 years on me of experience, right? So I was like, coach me, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I was 30 or whatever, starting JAMCARD at that point, like 33 when these things started happening, 34, 35, that was just years and years and years into the journey, taking those little victories, realize, okay, I'm a good drummer, but am I a good business person? No.
Yeah.
How do I become a good business person?
Yeah,
how do I become a good music director? Not just a drummer. How do I become a better friend? How do I become a better boss? How do I work on my EQ, not just my IQ, right? Like, how do I work on my empathy? All these things make you better at your profession.
Yes, sir.
Working on empathy, you're a better professional. You don't think about that.
No, we don't think, as musicians, we don't really think about, we don't think about the life skills.
Yes.
Because those are life skills.
Yes.
Empathy and forgiveness and Thanksgiving, those things that make you, like you said, a better boss, a better MD, having thoughts of others, making sure that we all move as a collective group to not just my gift, not just my job.
Yes.
And so, like you said, of course, be in business too. Whoa.
Man. But, and that it compounds, man, when you stay on your path.
Yeah.
There's good years, bad years, good months, bad months, right?
Yeah.
Especially being an entrepreneur, creative entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
Money months, no money months.
Woo! Baby!
I got a lot of money. It's gone. Right.
Man!
Right? So that's part of it. And then going in your path, and it compounds with time.
Yeah.
Your relationships compound.
Yeah.
Who you're friends with compound.
Yeah.
Some people that weren't famous that are your homie are now famous. They take you with them. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but just being confident that when you're on your path, you're going to get the right call at the right time, but you are ready. So doing whatever you can to be constantly ready for that call.
Yeah.
And also what you just said, knowing what you're not good at.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in the case that you said, that was something that you're not good at that you wanted to be good at. But whenever you find something you're not good at, do I actually care that I'm not good at that? Maybe I don't care and I don't need to be. Someone else is already great at that. I don't need to do that. Let me do my own thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the more you do that with time, then next thing you know, it's 10 years later and you're where you want to be and you're doing your own thing. Like you're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
You know, like you stand out. And whether or not it's like you work on something for years and years and years and years and like the gospel world knows you, but not the mainstream world.
Yeah.
But then you get picked by Kanye and you get put on a pedestal and you're mind blowing, but you're like, yeah, I've been doing this for ever.
That's right.
You know, like
that is so true. And I believe, El, I think that, you know, there's a scripture in the Bible that says that all things work together. Like it all works together for the good. So meaning that he uses all of it. I think God uses all of it to get us to those moments, the heartbreaks, the lessons, the this, that's that we're not great at. I think he uses all of it to get here. So, you know, and I know we're moving fast, but the only way that I could get prepared for a payroll of 150 people a week is that I managed a volunteer at a church for about 15 years of 400 volunteers in a church. I had a budget of several six figures. I had all of those things, but I was working for a church and then not knowing that that is all working together for what it is that I'm moving toward next. And so in the midst of me transitioning from this church job, which I was doing, managing 400 people, choirs, and about 8 different choirs. I had about 16 different musicians, you know what I mean? Contractors that I was contracting. I was managing a budget, a church budget, just a music department of about $800,000, you know what I mean, a year. So it was preparation for the day that Kanye Amari West calls and say, hey man, I want to do a choir. I want you to get them. I want to contract you. It's going to be your thing. And out of the samples, we're going to create something. So all of that, all of those years of Easter productions and Christmas productions and managing people and all of that stuff is all working together for, I think, just your next goal, your next destiny moment, your purpose moments.
Absolutely, dude. That's it, man. That's 1000% it.
Yeah.
All of it is your preparation.
Yeah.
Preparation meets opportunity is luck. You wouldn't have got that call if you weren't preparing for years.
Come on, say it again. Some great things need to be said again. Say it again.
Preparation meets opportunity is the definition of luck. Right?
Preparation. And the preparation is going to meet opportunity.
You prepared for years. You were running the churches. You were running all these choirs and churches. Boom, boom, boom. Managing a payroll. Okay, there's 100 people. There's 400 volunteers. There's 8 choirs. I got a 7-figure budget. I got a 6-figure budget. I got a 5-figure, whatever it is. Okay, great. That's all your preparation. Because that's a lot of organizing.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of not fun stuff.
Yes, sir.
It's not just the singing and the performing.
Oh, my God.
Then opportunity. Opportunity comes. Kanye comes. Boom, here's your opportunity because you've been doing all that. You could say yes.
Yes, sir.
And when you say yes and you do it, you don't just do it once, you do it for years because he keeps you.
Yes, sir.
Because you crush it every time.
Yes, sir.
Because you could get the opportunity, but can you keep it?
Yeah.
Right? The opportunity comes, you get it. You could have done a week. Sunday service could have been a week.
So true, L. So true, L.
You guys did like hundreds.
We did several weeks, and I thought it was going to be that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be. I thought Sunday service was just going to be. And man, come on, Kanye West. And by that time, he had sold anywhere from 20 to 30 million records. Gospel. So I'm thinking when I get that call, I get this call from Ray Romulus and Bruno's producer. Bruno Mars producer, and so he was like, yo, Ye wants to start this choir.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is Ye? He was like, man, Kanye. I was like, Kanye West wants to start a choir? He was like, yeah. He said, and everywhere we turn, everybody we talk to, it comes right back to you, like you're the choir guy, you're the this, and then of course we look you up. I give you back to Ye and say, yo man, this is the guy. He was like, so call him. So they call me, and like everything, Ye wants everything yesterday. everything yesterday. So it was Wednesday, and he was like, I need you to find me 100 singers by Friday. It was Wednesday, L.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So got my team together. We started calling. We started, doing things, making it, seeing how we can do it. We had no songs. And you gotta realize, L, this was the time of, he was so hot. He was controversial. Yeah. This was the red hat. This was this is all of that controversial stuff. So do you want to touch Ye?
Yeah.
Do you want to be involved with that? But I had a witness, man. I had a witness in my heart. Go. I didn't know what it was, but go see. And we got there, we had took, like, me and the producers, we had took maybe like 2 or 3 of his songs and cut them up and different things like that. And he got in there, and by this time, Ye has the platinum. I don't know if you remember the platinum hair. He had the platinum hair, and so he called me over. He was like, I don't want to say those things anymore. I don't want to use profanity anymore. I don't want to cuss. Can you change my songs? Can you write my songs? And not knowing, I had this young lady that I had been hiring all along. She had been doing background work for me. She had been doing. I've been doing American Idol. I have been doing all of these different shows as a vocal contractor, and she was there all along. And I never knew that she could write her head off. And her name is NIKKI GRIER.
Much love to NIKKI.
Much love.
Oh, yeah.
Much love to NIKKI GRIER. And not to know that she had that. And to say that, I just know that when you're to go forth and when God has you moving forward and moving out in it, you're equipped. You have everything, not knowing that I had everything that I need. Kind of like what you were saying. When preparation, I had the preparation. So everything that I needed for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Was really, really right there. And so from there, man, we were out of here, put her in the room. We all got together. I created this creative group out of that. I created other directors. I knew one of the things the church taught me, or the preparation taught me, is how to build people, how to build teams. So how can I do 100 people and then work with a rock star like Ye and not have organization, like you said earlier? Yeah. Organization, business. Now you can't write 500 checks.
Yeah.
You need a payroll company now.
Yeah.
All of the things that prepared you, to get to that moment.
And you don't have time. You couldn't just sit there and learn.
Yes.
He's like, he calls you on Wednesday. I want to do a choir. I need 100 singers by Friday.
Yes, sir.
You got to be like, all right, I know how to do that. I know 100, or I'm going to find 100, but I know how to build the structure. I've already done this.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't be like, oh, how do you even?
Yeah.
Then you miss the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
If you don't have the preparation, you miss the opportunity.
I like that. Preparation. Why I didn't write that up there?
The whiteboard doesn't have to hold all the knowledge of the world, Jason.
Why did I do that? Preparation. Did y'all hear that, everybody? Preparation. When preparation meets opportunity, there creates purpose. Ugh.
Let's go. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're in it. Jason and I are homies, so we just started talking and it just started ripping.
I know. So authentic, so real, baby.
This is great. I'm so happy to have you here, man. This is
I'm glad to be here.
We got a legend in the building, man. As you can tell, Jason White, one of the greatest in the game, especially at what he does. He's at the highest level of choir directing, vocal arranging, contracting. Damn good piano player too, which I didn't even know about at first until we got in the studio, and I was like, "Oh,
yes, sir."
Oh man, so yeah, you all know Jason from Sunday Service, Kanye West Sunday Service, so that like took over the whole world, was incredible and brought God to such an incredible place to so many millions of people in the mainstream, and Jason was up there leading all that. And that was amazing. That was when we met.
Yeah.
But Jason's done so much more than just that. Even just recently, T.I. recently, Jennifer Hudson recently, Will Smith, Beyoncé, a whole bunch of stuff. Could keep going. Elton John, Whitney Houston. We can go back. He's been doing this. He's been preparing for the platform to come and give him that opportunity, which he got. Baby. Which he got, as well as vocal contracting, American Idol, America's Got Talent, X Factor.
X Factor.
Man, so much stuff. You're on the Grammys. You're just everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, It's Jason White. Let's go, dude. We're doing the intro in the middle of the interview, bro.
In the middle.
You deserve it.
Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
Always
with
good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Always good to just hang out, vibe,
Absolutely.
make stuff. So we're going to talk all about Sunday service as we already started doing. But first of all, I just want to say Sunday Service Choir has a new Christmas album.
Come on.
It just came out and it is, bro, I listened to it 3 times last night on repeat because first of all, I love that it's 7 songs, 24 minutes.
That's it.
Love that.
That's it.
Listen to it 3 times, but this is my new favorite Christmas album. This is so good. Whether or not you're a Christmas album fan or not,
Right.
it is musically so incredible. The arrangements are amazing.
Yeah, man.
I'm so happy you guys did this. It also just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
congratulations on the release.
Thanks, man. It's been great. We did that, a few years back, and then something happened. Of course, we did it with Ye, and something happened where some of the tracks were fragmented. This has been a few years back, and so some of the tracks got fragmented and they got missing. And it was this time of year was coming, and I just knew it was special. And the great thing, El, is when you know that you have something and it's special, but how can you put it together? How could you package it? Of course, there were more songs, there were more different things like that, but those 7 songs really spoke to me. It was really like 6, and then NIKKI and I wrote one together.
I love the original, dude. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it's so funky too at the
Yeah.
end, bro. Y'all gotta listen to this.
Yeah, it's really good. So we just took some classics. Angels We Have Heard on High, Oh Come Emmanuel, Oh Come All Ye Faithful, all of those great things. And then of course, Favorite Things. And so I didn't know that Favorite Things is from The Sound of Music, but Favorite Things is not a Christmas song.
Oh.
So a lot of times you hear Favorite Things. I cut Favorite Things on Jennifer Hudson as well. The Jennifer Hudson Christmas. I cut that on that. And so
He's got multiple Christmas albums ripping out right now. Tis the season to be Jason.
And it's nothing like recording a Christmas record in July.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So you gotta
That's what
make
you gotta do.
You've got to do it.
You gotta do it.
You got to get yourself in the mood.
You gotta put the hat on.
Baby.
You gotta the tinsel.
And so I would just go to the piano as I was working on arrangements, man, and I would just let loose. And of course, the creativity would come out of there. But the Sunday Service Christmas album is out, and I couldn't have done it without the crew. I couldn't have done it without Phil Cornish and, of course, NIKKI and all the other ones, man. It was just great. And then that amazing choir, man.
Oh my God, the choir is amazing.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to start with the nibble, go listen to Go Tell 'Em. The album's called Go Tell 'Em, but the first song, the original.
Yeah.
Oh, because a lot of times when there's like new Christmas songs, they're not good. The
Yeah.
originals, it's like, dude, just do the flip the classics, right? Because you guys always are the best at flipping. But the original is so good, and I love the music is so good. Phil Cornish, man, shout out to Phil Cornish.
Yeah, shout out.
Dude, I
Shout
love
out.
it.
Yeah.
I love. Who's on drums on that track?
What? Oh, what a gift?
On Go Tell 'Em.
Go Tell It. So now you got to remember, Ye didn't want a drum set.
Yeah.
So, our drums are not drum sets. And so you've got Rico Nichols, you've got Carlin White, and you got Darius Woodley.
So even on that track, was that
Oh, yeah.
compiled multi-drummer percussion,
guys,
like
yeah.
someone on kick,
Yes.
it's so locked.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, they're 3 of the greatest drummers, so it makes sense.
And I had never understood, and I've seen you do it. And of course, the JAMMJAMs are like that, where there's 2 sets, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
And
But you guys went.
and
You guys went crazy on Sunday service with the drums as you did with the choir.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And he didn't want, I'll never forget, like our second week of putting it together. Once I found out that Ye wanted to do this every Sunday.
Yeah.
You're like, who wants to? And he was like, man, so next Sunday we're going to blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, next Sunday, I'll be like, and back then I called him Mr. West. I didn't, you know what I mean? I said, Mr. West, you want to, he was like, every Sunday. And then after a while, he was like, well, do you know any churches? I was like, of course, I know churches.
Are you serious?
Yeah, are you serious? Right. So
do you know who you're talking
So
to?
then we started doing churches, but he didn't want a drum set.
Yeah.
He's an innovator. He's a creator. And he kept saying tribal.
Yeah.
Tribal. And we was like, what do you mean, like African drums? He was like, no, not African drums. He was like, it could be that, but we had never heard of a tam-tam.
Right.
We had never heard of a sura. We never heard of those deep drums like that. And then we got contacted.
The Brazilian percussion and everything. Yeah.
And then, of course, the great Roland Garcia.
Yes, shout out to Roland. Yeah.
Shout out to Roland. Roland came in, he was like, oh, I know what you want. And so he incorporated not a hi-hat with a hi-hat stand, cymbals that are laid on top of each other.
Yes.
And so they created those things. Give me a snare here, give me some bongos, give me a big, and so then, you know, it started out like 5-6 different drummers at once, and then we were able to cut it down.
Yes.
And so then these guys are great at not getting, you know, Darius and Rick is very good at not getting in each other's way.
Yeah, which is incredible for having that many drummers playing at once.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's 2 or 10.
Yeah.
To complement each other is really crazy. And to play locked, which was so great. So now we're talking about like the formation of Sunday service in those original days, which was like so magical, man. I was so happy I got to like be a part of that and see that and like experience that. And, and like, it was amazing because, okay, wait, so let's take a step back now, tie this in a bow. So so Sunday service, you got the call.
Yeah.
For how Sunday service started, you got the call from a producer from who?
Yeah, Ray Romulus from Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
His wife is Tracy Romulus, and you know, of course, they're great with Kim and Kanye.
Yeah.
And so he's a producer, and so you know, he was like, "Yo, I want to start this choir. I want to do this choir." He was like, "Find me a choir." And so basically, Phil Cornish was at Ray's house doing a track for him. He was like, man, I'm trying to start this choir. And so it really came through Phil Cornish. Yes. The idea, the connect. He said, oh, man, you got to call Jason White.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to call Jason White. He's like, Jason White, who is he? He was like, man, look him up. He's Jason White. Like, he does TV. He's the guy that can get you the singers. He's a church guy, but he's not a gospel guy. Yeah. He's a guy that could, you know, transcend the platforms and be able to be yayed, if I can say that. Yes. You know what I mean? He's done, you know, man, when you look at him, when you go look at his credits, he's done gospel music, but he's done television. He's been groomed by the great Ricky Minor. Yes. You know what I mean? All of these great musicians. So he's the guy. And so I got a call. It was like a January 5th, 2019. Yeah, it was the first week of January. And I went out to Beach Wave. I went out to his studio and I sat there and he was like, what are we going to do? And I called my partner and we sat at the studio table and called literally 70 people. And we couldn't tell them who it was.
Right.
That's the thing that we couldn't do.
Right.
We would say like an A-list artist, you know, A-list artist, we need you to come to a rehearsal. Would you come? And because it was me, you know what I mean? They just came, but they came not knowing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got them in the rehearsal that I told them basically what was up. And then, you know, of course, a few of them had a thing about it, but of course it won them all over that we were a family and we all came together.
So it's you, Phil Cornish.
Yes.
Phil really owning like the music and the musician side.
Yeah.
And then you owning the vocal side.
And then because I am a musician, like, yo, hey, change this chord here. Hey, take that out of that. You know what I mean? So we worked. I also think in putting things together has to be submission.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Submission, man. I think submission is key in musicianship.
Yeah.
You know, being able to hear. So, yeah, we submit by listening to the other, by not getting out of the way, but can you be corrected? Or can you be, you know what I mean? Can you say, hey, man, let's don't do that there. Let's don't play the B flat on the blah, blah, blah. And there be true submission. And so Philip and I had that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know.
And so now you guys are making like this perfect amalgamation, essentially. It's like you and Phil, who are so great at what you do. Yeah. And then Kanye, who's so great at what he does.
Yes, sir.
Coming together to make this hybrid of these worlds. Yeah. Did it work initially, or you were saying like Kanye was like, you know, saying things like, oh no, the drums need to be tribal, but he doesn't mean literally tribal. Yeah. So it's like, how do you decode what Kanye is trying to say?
Yeah. And we had a few Kanye whispers. If I call them.
Okay, Kanye whispers.
The Kanye whispers, like, do you speak Kanye?
Yeah. Because I've heard he has his own language.
Oh, he's got his own language. And then he can say something, but that's not what he means. So you have to be able to decode what it is that he's saying. So we, you know, like anything, you start out with a whole bunch or a whole lot, and then you begin to chisel it.
Yeah.
You begin to chisel it down. Oh no, you can take that away. Oh, you don't need that. And we started out with microphones. And then he was like, well, what if we got everybody their own microphone? It's like, that's unheard of.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like, well, that's unheard of before me. Let's see what we can do to get. And so, of course, we begin to get our own miking system. But where the music was concerned, it was certain drums. Some of it was they would put their hands on and whip mallets. And then that changed. And so then it at each time, each week, it would be big, and then you would cut it down. Or we don't need all that. Or we can do this without that. Or these guys were in demand.
Yeah.
That was the other deal. They were in demand. And so some of them would go out on tour, or some of them would do different things like that, and they would move on. But it was just getting crafted each step of the way. And then one week he would want horns, one week he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then we got this harpist. Man, we didn't know. So there was this lady playing a harp. We'll be outside. And of course, that only lasted maybe about a month or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like anything,
trying things.
Yeah.
Experimenting.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Just trying to see what works. No, we don't need that.
Yeah.
And then of course, Ye is the king of the ASR.
Yeah.
The sampling, chopping. You know what I mean? Whatever, all of the sound. So we would have some of the service where he would want that. Ye doesn't want any speakers seen.
Crazy. Hide the speakers, but have it be loud.
There you go. He doesn't want
and it's outside.
It's outside. I don't want to see speakers. So if that means create trees, if that means some are underneath, we've had things under. He doesn't want to see speakers. So you can hear it. And I would think some of that stuff would be obsessive, but then when you would see it, you'd be like, whoa. I was looking at a Sunday service the other day with BIEBER. It was us, BIEBER, not Tony Rich. What's the guy's name? Rowdy Rich. Mm-hmm. Rowdy Rich, all of it. And we were working. This was off the Donda record. And he didn't want those speakers seen. And so Claire, everybody knows who, like Claire
Audio.
Claire Audio is. They were all behind us, but they had created this silk screen. So they could see us, but we couldn't see them, but they were right there. Wow. So that's another way of you. But, he just had all of these things, and those things is what made him what makes him, I should say, made, because he's so not done. He's so not over.
The vision is crazy.
Oh,
it's constantly evolving. And so you have to evolve with him, because it's like,
yes, sir.
It's like it starts, and it's like you and Phil and a few other people putting it together with Kanye, getting it out of his mind into he's happy. Yeah. But then as soon as he's happy, it evolves immediately.
It evolves.
A day later, right?
So we're wearing our own clothes, and then he says, I want you all to wear my clothes.
Yeah.
I want you to, I'm going to dress you each week.
Yeah.
We're going to dye these clothes, and now I want you to wear my shoes. So now that's where Adidas comes in.
Yeah.
And so now we're wearing Yeezys, and we're doing all of these things week after week, and he's seeing it week after week after week. We're wearing the clothes, and it just began to evolve. And I'm telling you, I'm thinking it's just gonna end, man.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna, and he was gracious. Everybody's getting paid.
Yeah.
Everybody week after week. It was, now I had to do a lot of shuffling. My team, me, all of that. We had to do a lot of shuffling to make this happen, man. But he was committed to it. And all while he was committed to it, he had people. And so we're talking 15-hour days.
Crazy.
Man, we're talking, stuff ringing. Or he was in his building, man. We was out in Calabasas, and he would, just basically ripped out the building, just all the guts to create that room that we was in. And then they ran us out of there. The leasing people ran us out of there, and he was like, we're going to my backyard. It was like, your backyard? He was like, I got 300 acres in my backyard. I said, what the hell? Who has? So we go down the street, man, and then that's where we're outside, where you came, and we're in these mountains. And so, man,
that was one of the coolest musical experiences of my entire life. Hands down. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so it was just great. And then, of course, the neighbors ran us out of there.
It was 9 a.m. on a Sunday, right? In freaking Calabasas, like Hidden Hills or something. Yeah. We're like way out there. So I got to like wake up at 8, drive out there, get out there. It's like, guest list, but it's just like a dirt road, and there's like these mountains. And I'm like, is it here? But I see and then I get to the line, which there's only, by the way, how many guests are there? 20. It's like small.
Yes, sir.
Small guests,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So I was like, all right, cool. So, and luckily I see one person that I know. I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? I guess I am in the right place. And I stand there and it's like, we're like waiting to get in. And there's like there's this little barista making coffee outside on the street. I'm like, you're with this what is this? And the other people that I'm waiting with to walk into his backyard, we're like in the front yard or the side yard. We're trying to get in the backyard, but it's like Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom, Rick Rubin, Tyler the Creator. Like, it was like, what the hell? Babyface?
Yeah, Babyface.
You know, like, it was just like, okay, we're all just, there's like this small group of us. We've been hearing about it for the last couple weeks. It was brand new.
Yeah.
Like, all right. And then we like get into the back and we like walk us through. This like where the studio house was.
Yeah.
We get in.
Yeah.
And then it's set up in a circle. Right. And I was like, what the heck? And then I see like, you guys were all wearing like, a maroonish or something like it looked stunning. And then it was like, quiet. We're like sitting there. We're like, hey, it's Sunday. It's 9 a.m. Sunday morning, drinking coffee. Then the Kardashians walk in, right? The whole squad, they sit in and then it starts, man. And I like a perfect mix somehow outside in the rolling hills of Calabasas. Can't see anyone. There's like no neighbors that you can see. It's just like, what is this? Ye comes. Ant comes.
Tony Williams.
Yep. And then you guys and then the choir starts. The choir is crazy. You guys are so vibrant. Like watching you is crazy. Then I of course, because you could stand wherever you wanted in the circle besides where the choir was, right? So I of course went right behind all the drummers. So then all the drummers are all the homies, right? You got Roland, you got Rico Nichols, you got Darius, you got like Devin Sticks Taylor. You have like Carl Lamar Carter was there that day. Right. We had like, I want to say Roland's dad was there.
Roland's dad, that's right. You used to play with Phil Collins.
Yeah, legend, absolute legend. Like it was just like 7 of the best drummers in LA at the moment, just all playing like individual instrument, Brazilian instruments, percussion stacks. He's made stacks.
Yeah.
And then you guys started, it was tight. And then there was Phil, and then a whole band.
Phil,
I think Paul was even there too. His brother.
Paul came in a little later.
Maybe. I was just like, it seemed like a family affair, really. And then like, the whole Kanye Kardashian, like the family, the kids are dancing, the kids' friends are dancing. I was just like, and then the music's incredible, and it goes on for like an hour and a half or something. It was just like, I remember some of the videos I took were. And I posted on my Instagram. Some of my videos were like the viral videos that TMZ posted and stuff, which was funny. But dude, it was the most incredible show. Like definitely top 5 shows I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, and for a spontaneous thing, moving. Like everyone was like, "Are you guys doing this again next week?" I don't know. I remember. I want to say soon, weeks after that. Let's say we were making a sample pack for Splice with JAMMCARD samples with Phil Cornish.
Yeah.
And I remember Phil was at the organ. He was looking at his phone. We were cutting the samples, and he was like, "I think we're doing Sunday service." Like I'm like, "Are you doing it this weekend?" I don't know. Right? It was like week of. I don't know. I think we are. I think we're not. And he was like, "Oh, I think we're going to Detroit." I was like, "When?" He's like right now. Like I gotta leave soon. I'll never forget that, dude. That was so legendary.
Yeah.
And then I look on Instagram, and there you guys are in Detroit. That was when you guys started flying.
Yeah, that was a whole thing,
man.
We had to get Adidas on board.
Yeah.
And so our first flight was to Portland. That's where the headquarters was. And so his deal was, I wanted a replica. And so we've had what was that? John McGuire, man, his guys, man, they just replicaed basically our Sunday service there in Calabasas, where we first started at 32. And it was there, and we did it. The entire Adidas staff came in. Charlie Wilson was with us, and other different guests, came in with us, and we loved it. And man, and so he said, we're going to be going to different cities. And I was like, okay, so we'll get our flight agent. And he was like, flight agent? What do you mean travel? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'll be in touch. So we never we never used American Airlines
Yeah.
or United. It was a charter every week for like 150. So it would be us, the band,
Fill up
wardrobe,
the whole plane,
man. Like it was just crazy. And then you got to realize some of these children, man, I had kids. Some of them were 20. And the great thing about it, man, you know what I mean? We're talking about the music and all that, L, but it was what it did for a lot of people. We had people that were homeless. We had some young people that were homeless. We had some people that were getting put out of their houses. There were people that I had to basically write security deposits for. They were getting put out and or they needed a place to live or the children need food. But you know what I mean? It was just all of those type of things. And so not just was this a musical experience, but it was an economical experience too. It was life-changing for these young children. There were people that traveled to audition and they were put in like right away. They didn't know where they were going to live. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't have food or anything like that. And so it was never a thing of being used or anything like that. Everybody got paid weekly. And it was just amazing. And I couldn't believe what God was doing. I couldn't believe that this was really happening. And as you said, it's the preparation. It's the preparation of getting you ready. Can you mentally handle? A lot of times we're getting education and different things like that. But sometimes the education is not enough. We need the experience. We need the hours. We need the mental ability to be able to, the fortitude and the tenacity to be able to keep it together. Rehearsals, 10, 12-hour day rehearsals and different things like that. Hey man, Ye would call us or call me or call NIKKI, and we would have 12 songs to flip in like 2 or 3 days. She was amazing, man. God gave her to us. And she would come and she would sing it in her phone and write and then would send it to us. And then we would get in with the creative team and Phil at the piano and they would work it out and different things like that. Then teach it to the choir. And so while they're teaching it to the choir, I created a nucleus. They're going to be the creative group. They're going to write. They're going to put it together, but I've got to go over here and deal with management. I've got to go over here and do the negotiation, making sure that everybody is covered, making sure that there's benefits, making sure that there's enough, you know what I mean? The business is taken care of. So after I finish doing the business, now I've got to go in and learn everything that they have created. And so whether that's notes, whether that's charting. So my job was so intense. So I got to take care of the business, making sure that come on now, we got, if anything, we've got to make sure that the money is right and all of that type of stuff. And then what is it that Ye wants? And then now I've got to take that hat off or keep that hat on. And along with that hat, put on the creative hat. So what did we learn today? All right, so this is how it happened. Okay, so the B flat minor on that chord there. Okay, so that's what well, no, that doesn't work. And so I would come in and just really kind of edit what it is that you can't sing that B flat over that A sharp, you know what I mean? You can't do, certain things that just didn't go. And it was just great. Or showing Phil like, yo, let's do a flat 5 here, or let's change the chording here or there. And it would just come together. And then after a while, you got the choir in this room rehearsing, and then you got the band. So we just took over center staging. So the band is over here, working over here. And so you've got to go between both, making sure then we come together. And so it will be long days, but it will be worth it. It will be so worth it.
It's hard to make it cohesive. I mean, that's like that is the definition of a creative executive, right?
So much.
Because you got to do the business side, the not fun stuff. Hey, is this covered? Is this covered? Oh, these people didn't get. We got to pay these people. Man, and it's there's so many balls. It's hard to not drop balls, right? Then to do the creative, because it's hard. A lot of times people are purely creative, right?
Yes, sir.
It's really hard to switch creative on and off, and you have to be able to do that. You got to be able to do that in this kind of case, because you don't want to be creative when you're talking to the management and stuff about like payroll, right? Or about scheduling, logistics, right? But then you got to go back and you got to be the leader. So you got to learn, oh, you guys are 2 steps ahead of me because you just wrote all this stuff. And let me hear it. Let me digest it. Okay, let me give you notes. Okay, now let me memorize it. Okay, now let me lead everybody. Make sure everyone's parts are great. It's a lot, man.
That's it.
And the reality is, most people will just see you choir directing,
yes, sir,
and be like, "That looks fun."
Yes, sir.
which it does, by the way. Watching you looks very fun.
Yeah.
But you don't realize, man, the layers behind that are stacked.
So and then the deal is, I would be here. You got music, you got choir, and you got him.
Yeah.
Because he would be like, you could look at him and he would be like, you could tell he's ready for it to go on. He's ready for it to move on.
Right.
Or like, what's next? So you have the temperature of the drums, all of this, the choir, the balances, so now we've got these mics, so the balances, making sure that the sounds is not too long. And then, of course, the client.
Yeah.
You've got to look at the client, whether it's time to shut it down and different things like that, or move on, or if he's into it, you know what I mean? And just being led. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is so much. And so I'm just grateful to be able to have those tools that you're hearing, but then you also have another inner ear, L.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Listening and being sensitive to the spirit. There it is. Being sensitive to the spirit, whether it's time to come down soft, or break the music, all of those things, the spontaneity of being creative. And then in those rooms, you got the people. So a service is not necessarily just a performance. How is it landing? Because you want the people to leave with something.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? You want them to be touched. So it's not just we just boogieing, but there has to be connection so that there's something. Some people are not going to a church. Some people are not, they didn't leave there with, but sometimes that would be the only hope or the only life lesson or the only how to act in a store or how to, put love on or different things like that. Sometimes the songs would be about love or different things like that. And then I loved how I was learning people and getting to know people. I never forget, man, I was talking to this guy and he had his pants up to here and he had his hair back and he had on a t-shirt and he was talking to me like with this little British accent and different things like that. And so I was like, nice meeting you. He was like, I can't wait for the day that we work together. I was like, okay, sounds good. And so I turned, he walked away and the people said, did you know who that was? I was like, no, it was just a guy. It was like, that's Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Huh? It was like, I said, who's Harry Styles? They was like, oh, Jason.
Oh man, Jason,
Jason,
on.
Like, come on. And then of course me and NIKKI worked on his record, like the next month. And so it was just cool, man. So just good stuff, man.
Wow, dude. So at what point did you feel like you figured out how to understand Kanye? Like with all of that, there's obviously a learning curve.
Yeah. It would just take a while. And then I think for the most part, I didn't know, coming from, church and the religious sanctity of the institution of the church. He was the leader, but he didn't want to lead.
Yeah.
He didn't want to
let you lead.
Yeah.
He didn't come up for moments and then take a step back.
He didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
He was like, no, you say it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. So we did Coachella basically. Yeah. And so we were always in the standard director choir right here. And so the deal is that I was like, Mr. West, I was like, this doesn't work. He was like, well, what doesn't work? He was like, I was like, these risers. I said, they're slippery. He was like, so take the risers out. And then we're going to put the choir all the way around. I said, what do you mean all the way around? He was like, it's going to be choir, just all the way around the musicians. This is how, and we just thought it was a fluke. Coachella was, first of all, this mountain is still there today. He made them build a dirt mountain.
They built a mountain for you.
Built a mountain.
Hold on. Okay, so we're talking about Sunday service played Coachella.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Which was a late addition, right? Like Coachella was already announced. Yes, it was sold out. And then all of a sudden, and Sunday service is getting all the buzz in the world as the most hyped thing. And it's like, well, how do I see a Sunday service? And then all of a sudden they announce Coachella and then with added Sunday service.
That is exactly it.
And
how do you know all of this?
I remember this shit. I remember all it because it was like an anomaly, bro. Like you were part of an anomaly, man. It was just like, and also I was friends with all you guys.
That's
so I was hearing about I was talking about it every week. I was just like, where are you at? What's going on? What is this?
It was Easter Sunday.
Yeah, it was Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday 2019. And we had just left Portland. We had just left Adidas, and he got on. That's so funny, man. He got on what's the thing that the stewardess be on?
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen. He got on that, and
the radio or whatever they call it.
We were coming back. We were leaving. We was back on the charter jet, and we were coming back. He said, "Yeah. I've got a big announcement. Sunday service is going to be we're going to take over Coachella." And the kids went oh, it's like Coachella. And so, did Coachella.
Wait, is that at that point, was that also you finding out?
Oh yeah, that's all of us finding out.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And this was soon before Coachella, right?
Yeah, maybe a good 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks before.
That's all it was. We had 2 weeks.
And then so you guys are now figuring, so you got to be like, cool, that's great. All right, what are we doing here?
Absolutely.
Right? Let's build this. And then he's like, I'm going to have them build a mountain.
So I didn't know none of that. We in the mountain. And so, like I said, back to my point, we were on these risers and the risers didn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, they're slippery. I said, this is not a good idea. He was like, well, get rid of them. And I said, well, what are we going to do? He said, put the choir, everybody be around the band. And they got these microphones, Claire came in with the microphones and here it says, and I said, well, how they going to see me? I said, how are they going to get the direction, sir? How are they going to do that? Oh, I'm going to put you in the middle and we're going to put you on this thing. And Ye came up with all of that.
Yeah.
So we wasn't doing that. When we started Sunday service, it was just a choir, risers, and I would stand there and the band would be over there. But for Coachella, something that started, and that's why this guy is such a visionary and how he sees and how he paints and how he draws. It was a problem, and out of a problem, came this idea to keep everybody in the round.
Yeah.
He says, I'm going to build you in the center. So we did that, but he didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. I was like, you've got to say, I said, yay. I said, don't do this to me. I said, they come to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You do it. I said, you got me up here and they're going to throw stuff at me. They're going to throw things. I mean, because it's Kanye's Sunday service, bro.
Yeah.
And then you got me up here directing and we're just singing songs. It's like, where is Ye?
Yeah.
So he was like, don't worry about it. You just go say it. You do the thing that I need to do. I can't do that. I'm not ready to talk about that. I'm not ready to talk about God. He hadn't been transformed yet.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? The transformation of God, he was going through it, but I'm not ready to, I can perform, but I'm not ready to talk. I'm not ready to minister.
Yeah.
If I could say that, you do that.
Yeah.
And so we would sing, man, and his heart was being renewed. His heart was being purified. He was singing the prayers. He was just in a place, and through that, we saw the transformation of this guy. But that is how the round and all of that happened through Coachella. Coachella streamed in 8 different countries:
Wow.
Rio, Tokyo, Asia, all of those things. All of those things. It was 50,000 people.
Yeah, it's
So
incredible.
no gospel artist, no Christian, no inspiration has never done Coachella. He was the first. So Coachella,
Wow.
man, it's a lot of things that happen out there. I ain't gonna put it out there like that, but it's a number of things. So for God
Wow.
and a religious service on Easter Sunday morning, early as 7 a.m., like people.
You got these kids waking up and going there. People and the Hollywood people coming in early that normally don't come till nighttime at Coachella, but they want to see that.
They want to see that, and it was just that, and it was just great. DMX.
Oh yeah.
Tiana Taylor, Chance the Rapper, you know what I'm saying? Ty Dolla,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Everybody was there. They had to be in the Sunday service garb. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So rehearsals were insane all week, man. It was just great.
And the
man.
blocking. I remember even the camera blocking when on the live stream, the
Yeah.
little tiny.
The little fish hole.
What was that?
Yay. What do you mean, what was that?
I mean, of course it was Ye, but he was just like, oh, I wanted you to
What
barely
is
be able to
that?
see it.
Yeah, that's like some who was that guy from the 90s? Hype Williams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You remember Hype? You know what I mean? With
Everyone thought it was going to go away. It
Yeah.
was just like, oh, this will be for a minute. This is like some sort of artistic depiction of this. And then it just stayed.
just stayed the whole time, and so it was just great, man.
Wow.
It was great. So that's Coachella, man. Coachella was out of this world. We
Wow.
rehearsed all week in the desert.
Man. And then I remember you guys did the Forum
Did the Forum.
like so many times.
Yeah,
Like,
man, the Forum was great.
Yeah.
And the Forum is where he wanted to, and they just wouldn't let him.
Yeah.
But he wanted that. I don't know if you remember, we walked on water.
Yeah.
We did this thing we went to ATL down to Atlanta where he had this idea, but he wanted to do it in the Forum. And it was like, man, you can't bring that much water, in here. But he had these ideas, these way out ideas, man. And he wanted to do it, man. So
and
it was
he
just
was
a blessing.
investing in it too, because he wasn't even charging.
He wasn't charging.
Like if you could get into Sunday, with the
Yeah.
exception of Coachella or whatever, but
Yeah.
if you could get into Sunday service, you could.
There you
You
go.
were there. He was
And he did-
investing
yeah,
so much money to do that.
Yeah, and he didn't want that.
Yeah.
He didn't want that stigma of, the church giving and money, and he just didn't want all of that. And so, yeah, it was just out of the kindness, and man, God truly blessed him through it. So it was just good, and he was a blessing to us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That was so special. I remember, the James Corden thing with all you guys on the fight and everything.
Yeah. Oh man, so good. And all we did was fly from Ontario, California to LAX.
Nice little
That's all it was.
nice little jump.
15 minutes.
What was a surprising collaboration for you that came from that?
Of course, like Kenny G. Kenny G. And,
Wow.
You know what I mean? I knew who Kenny G was, but like, you just the mix of that and hip hop, you know what I mean? Together. So like Kenny G, of course, the Clips. And then you would see just, he was just open basically to all of it. And so we didn't have a lot of guests, and I just think sometimes some of the guests it would be overwhelming for them. You know what I mean? It would just be like overwhelming, for them. And so we would just, go with it. He didn't want a lot of solos either. He didn't want a lot of solos.
Yeah.
That's how the choir would do the solos. So the sopranos would do the solos, while half of the sopranos would do the solos, and then the other half of the sopranos would keep the harmonies and different things like that. And so he didn't other than me and maybe another young lady, nobody really touched the mic other than him.
Yeah.
Because he wanted a choir, not somebody out leading and different things like that. And so that was another thing that I had to create the creative team to be able to come up with these parts.
Yeah.
And really make it stand out and be effective and do what it is that he wanted it to do.
Absolutely.
He would let us go, but then he would be hands on. Well, I don't like that. Or can we say, so like how I came up with the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. And he would just, that thing doesn't do that many times. But he was like, how can I keep the hallelujahs going? And so I would get on the piano and just like, okay, hallelujah, dominant, to the F sharp major, hallelujah, to the A flat, hallelujah. And then how can I keep that going, but in that new inversion? You know what I mean? And then it gets up and it gets higher and higher. And so he wouldn't necessarily know the musical terms for it. Those are the things on how we had to speak yay.
Yeah.
How do you speak yay? He didn't know the intervals and different things like that. But his deal was, how can I keep it going?
Yeah.
And I want them screaming. I want them to go. He would do things like that. So
You got to come up with the idea
There you go.
and then pitch it to him essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a good hit record with that? Like with your batting percentage for being like, here's the idea, and then him being like yes versus no?
Every now and then. That was probably the biggest. That was the home run. Was the hallelujahs.
The hallelujahs,
That made the Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That made the movies. That made all of that. Hallelujah and different things like that. And so, yeah. But for the most part, we would get it right. But there would be times that he didn't like. There would be times that he didn't like it.
Yeah.
I can't say what it was, but there was a number of things that he hated that we did. And if he didn't like it, we had to scrap it.
For sure.
That's not it. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that part. He would be like, nah, I don't like that part. So we would only do maybe like parts of it. Christmas he loved Christmas music. So then, and then he would always be cutting the music a lot. He didn't want the drums. So then after a while, he was really saying, I just want, so, we went into a cappella phase where there was no music and different things like that. He just wanted voices. And so I had to bring another guy in, you know what I mean? I would bring different people in that could create colors in chords,
Yeah.
not just 3-part harmony. Now I need bass, I need baritone to make this chord sound, you know, a different way. That was beyond me.
Yeah.
That was beyond my scope. I could do 3-4-part harmony, but now I could hear it, but to be able to have the mentality and the schooling and the education to be able to bring all of these sounds together. And so some of the choir can read, some of them can, but then some of them can't.
Yeah.
So being able to the help and the tenors, you know, maybe Eric and Jamal can read, and so he's teaching them the notes and different things like that. And so there would be breakout tutoring session. But he was constantly everything like we were talking about earlier in our life, things that push you to the limit. But if you're willing to submit to it, if you're willing to submit, to the next level, it's there for you.
Yeah.
Will you say yes? Will you apply yourself? Will you submit yourself to it and learn from it? So
I'm so happy. You know, for everything else I already have going on in my life that has nothing to do with this, that I appreciate you saying that. That hits hard. I think that's something everyone can take away, and
man.
Because you know, you guys are all a example of greatness, right? And you had to work hard. And you still, and of course, still are. Like, it doesn't end being a professional in the music industry. You work hard. You want to be cool. You got to keep working hard.
Yeah,
don't stop, right?
Don't
but
stop.
That's like a great example of working hard, and what you guys did was so amazing, and just the amazing the pool of talent and all of those individuals in that Sunday service choir with you. So yeah, shouts to you and Phil and NIKKI and Roland and Darius and Rico and like all those singers, man. Like you guys all came together. It was like 100 people being amazing at once in sync
and, then
and syncopated.
Yeah, and to see them today, they're doing so many other things.
Yeah. There's so many stars in that. It was like 100 stars, right? And like Kanye knew it too, which is also why he was like, I don't need to be 80% of the show. I can be 10% of the show.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing,
Yes,
right?
sir.
As is, which is
Yes,
so cool, because you think of Kanye. I think a lot of people would think of Kanye as like, oh, maybe he's got a big ego and all this kind of stuff. But for him to take a step back and let you guys shine, and him to stand there is like letting go of ego completely, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, once again, just an amazing thing that you guys put together. And now look, it's like Sunday service choir with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Right? Just so great. What's going on with Will Smith?
Man, Will Smith, basically, you know, we know he's another one that's been on a journey.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, and we were there at the Oscars, kind of like when that happened.
Oh yeah.
We were backstage.
Oh man.
When the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
And so out of that, you know, I think he took maybe a year or two off, and he was just finding himself through all of that. It was a lot that was going on, and it's amazing. I was working on the Vultures record.
Oh yeah.
I was working on Ye's Vultures record
with Ty,
and I got a call. And they was like, "Yo, we'll, would love to see you out." Same thing. Can you make it out to his compound out in Calabasas? I go out there, man, and it's the greatest energy. I didn't know what they wouldn't tell me what it was.
Yeah.
He wants to see you. You know, can you come out? He didn't tell me that he wanted Sunday service. He was like, he wants to see you, the guy that directs the choir with the glasses, and he wants to see you. So I get out there and different things like that. Hug him, man, just great energy, him, his producers, and they begin to start playing music. And you start hearing the Fresh Prince rap. And man, I'm like, we've seen him do movies, but to hear him rhyme again, getting jiggy with it, and Summertime and all these things. So now it's these new songs, and you hear his voice, and he's rapping. And man, when I tell you, a smile from here to that door, man, it just came on my face. And it's like I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Here it is again. hey man, I want Sunday service, man, to jump on these. And so once again, I'm thinking it's a song.
Right.
It's a song, L. I'm thinking it's a song. It ended up being 6.
Amazing.
6 songs and good songs,
Yeah.
good music. You know what I mean? You Can Make It. That was the first one, you know, and so coming out of the darkness, coming out of what he had been in, and the family stuff, and then of course just working through all of it.
Yeah.
And it's basically he wanted that inspiration. He wanted the heavens to open. He wanted that choir sound. He wanted all of it. So we went in the studio. They sent me the music, sent me the songs. Me and my team, we began to start arranging and writing and putting it together, man. And it was just great over there at MANNY,
MARROQUINs?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
At
did
LARRABEE?
we cut it at LARRABEE.
Love that.
We cut it at LARRABEE.
Let's go.
Yeah. Woo! We cut it there at LARRABEE. I got him in the LARRABEE, man, and he
Great
just came.
studio.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my God, the old Bill Sinead place, man.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, so you were in Studio 6.
yeah,
The white with the
Ooh,
looks like
baby.
it's like a retro
Yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah. I call it the Neil Diamond room. Bill Sinead would do all of the Neil Diamond records in there, and yeah, we were, and it used to be Harvey's as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Harvey
so
had it after between Bill and Manny.
And Manny,
Yeah.
yeah, and so we were in there.
When Harvey had it, there was a weight set in the
Yes, yes, because I did Jingle Jangle in there. It was
Oh, yeah.
I did the
It's a
movie.
bench press.
And now when you go with Evergreen, that same bitch.
Yeah, now it's just a bigger gym.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Much love to Harvey.
Much love, Harvey.
Much love to Bill Sinead too, man.
Yeah.
I made a record with Bill in that room, but when it was still Bill's. Yeah. I never made a record in there when it was Harvey's, but I went and met with Harvey there. And I've made a few since it's been Manny's now, of course.
Drums?
Yeah.
With Bill Sinead?
Yeah, with Bill Sinead,
He
man.
didn't track you.
And yes, he did. And he was cutting straight to vinyl, direct to vinyl. Yeah. This was probably 2009.
Were you in the? Because you know the sonics and the mics and that.
So right when you come out of if you guys have been to this room, so you come out of the control room, there's a little hallway, and you step into the live room.
Right.
Drums were right there in front of the glass.
Really?
Yeah. That was his spot. It was kind of weird because like the control room's behind you.
Yeah. Oh wait. So your back was to the control room?
Back to the control room.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the mics was. Oh.
Yeah. The whole band was in. I mean, there's there's 2 ISO booths.
Yeah, the ISO booths. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are we talking to people like they know what it is? I'm
A
sorry.
lot of music heads listen to this, so they might be like, "This is Bill Sinead. This is legendary. This is his room, man. This is a legendary. It still is a legendary room because Manny MARROQUIN now has it.
Yeah.
And Harvey Mason had it after Bill, between Bill and Manny. So room is legendary. So Will Smith's cool guy, huh? He seems like the coolest guy.
Cool guy, man.
Yeah, never met that guy, man. I wanna meet Will
man.
Smith.
Great guy, man. Great. So I'm in there. I got the choir going and we're working on, You Can Make It. And all of a sudden he like sneaks up behind me, man. I just see him, man. Just great energy.
Yeah. That big smile.
Big smile, all of that good stuff. And then, make it even, usually I don't really get, even when I was working with Whitney and she tapped me, you know what I mean? You don't really get nervous, but that was a moment. And then he didn't want to leave. He wanted to sit right there next to my box, next to the, and so just working it out there, hearing it, and he loved it, man. And it's just great, just energy. And that was it was just right.
Man.
It just felt right. And so, they haven't dropped the entire record. They're like on the second single now, but man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can speak from experience that being in the studio with you and a choir is an amazing experience. So, and we got to talk about the samples, right?
Yeah.
Because there's Sunday service choir and there's the samples.
And there's the samples.
Which is really the same thing.
It is.
It's Jason White leading. It's Jason White's choir. That's what it is. It's the choir collective of Jason White. So whether or not you get the premium of Sunday service choir naming, that's a premium, but the samples is amazing, man. Yeah. So and being in the studio with you and your whole team, man, and whoever you have selected of your large group of incredibly talented singers,
absolutely,
to be in the studio. So of course, whether you're Will Smith or you're Kanye or you're whoever, you're going to be like, you don't want to leave that room.
Yeah.
You can feel the presence of God, man. What you guys
That's right.
and girls bring out
That's
is
right.
emotional, man. It's
Yeah.
powerful. Like, I'd love to talk about the power of a choir. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing like it, man.
Yeah, just the sensitivity of it. So the power can be volume, but then power can be, you know what I mean, reverent,
Yeah.
as well, and tonality and tone and intonation and timbre, all of those things, you know what I mean. And the greatest thing is being able to have enough,
Yeah.
to be able to cover. Of course, when we were working on. The splice, the samples,
Oh,
the
yeah, the
sample
sample pack,
choirs, you know what I mean? Of course, we cut that over there at East West.
Yep.
And in that big room, the
Studio One, yeah.
Studio One, that's the old Frank Sinatra room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just iconic, just beautiful, beautiful sound, beautiful textures, ceiling up high, but not too high, but putting them in there and having those microphones. You know what I mean? It's just another beautiful room. But the samples are the singers that create Sunday service, basically.
Yeah, got it.
And so it wasn't Sunday service on the Oscars. It was the samples.
Right.
So there are times when artists want Sunday service and they want to be able to use the name Sunday service. But then, of course, for the Joe Biden, Barack Obama rally, they wanted the samples. We just want the singers, you know what I mean? We don't necessarily want Sunday service, but we want you and your singers.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference, basically. And as you said, it is the same thing because it's just an overflow or a spillover, into it. And then when you want Sunday service, how many people do you want?
Yeah.
So, but if you want, and so the other deal that I've been gifted to do is to be able to get the sound with less.
Yeah.
So more, you can you don't have to stack as much, but then as well, if you want a sound of about 15, then I'm going to be creative. So a lot of times I'll have them stand on chairs.
Yeah.
So some on the floor, maybe I'll have 8 sopranos, 3 are on the floor, but then I'll have maybe like another 4 to stand on the chairs. So it's hitting the mic from the vibration is hitting the mic from different. I hate that I'm telling all my stories and how I do my tricks.
It's okay. You can't just put people in a chair and it sounds great, bro. There's plenty more that goes into it that makes it you.
But when you don't have a riser, you got to create one. You create or you hear, because you got soprano coming from this angle, but then you got soprano coming from this, you got alto coming from here, but then you've got alto coming from this side as well. And so when it all hits the mic, and miking is important as well. So being a producer and an engineer, I kind of know that ability to be able to get that sound. And then I'm gonna always do ISOs.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do choir together, a backup version, but then give me maybe like 3 or 4 soprano ISOs, just a soprano, so I'll be able to have control to be able to mix and move, and I can do my, my splits, and so I would go out to Will's house and do that.
Yeah.
So they was like, we don't want to touch the blend. They have the tracks, but we don't know what to do with those. You come in, and so I would go to Will's house, and then
it's a whole other art.
Yeah. Being able to make sure that
balance, that mix.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah, man, it's really cool. It's really cool.
When did you become a vocal contractor and the choir director? Well, the choir director came from church, right?
Yeah.
That all came from church.
Yeah.
But at what point did you, for being the vocal contractor for American Idol and America's Got Talent and all this stuff, how did you become that guy?
Yeah, he's my mentor. And he's a friend, but he I don't want to say a taskmaster, but he was a tough guy. His name is Rickey Minor.
We're talking Rickey Minor.
Of
course we are.
Yeah, man. So Yolanda Adams was doing the Jay Leno show, and it wasn't the late night Jay Leno show. It was just the Jay Leno show, and he had heard of me, and so she had a Christmas She had a Christmas record.
Here comes Christmas
Here comes
again.
Christmas again. She had a Christmas record, and one of the things, hey man, we heard about you. You know, can you do this? And I wasn't really doing the church thing, and so I came over. I did it. I brought some singers with me, and I'll never forget. Wayne Lindsay and his wife is named Lynn Fitmont. They used to sing with Stevie and all that, and so she was singing with Ricky, and we went in another room, and I began to teach them the songs, and I saw her. Ricky walked in the room, and I saw her nod to him like he's got it. Like, this is the guy.
Nice.
And when she, you know how when you know that feeling, that feeling, L.
For sure.
You know that feeling when you just like, you're trying to get it right. You know this is your moment. You gotta get that groove right. You gotta do it. You know what I mean? Because this work leads to that work. We all have that.
Absolutely.
Come on, baby. We all have that thing, man.
That's the industry.
If I can get this right, man, then he'll hear me. And so when he came in, I knew. And so this is a cool guy. And then he said, well, what all do you do? I was like, I play. It's like, oh, okay. Okay, you play. Well, do you know how to record? It's like, yeah, I'm a producer. I'm a gospel producer from. He was like, oh, so you know how to record vocals? Okay, all right. So then he gets American Idol. And when he gets American Idol, that's a whole machine. So you need casting, piano players to deal with the contestants, not casting, contestants.
Mm-hmm.
So then you need a contestant song. You need a contestant vocal coach.
Yeah.
So the band, that guy can't be with the contestants. So he would put me with the contestants, making sure that they were there. They were vocally ready, arrange the song. You know what I mean? They would do a group song. And so he had me to arrange it. And then I would have to come up with the arrangement, cut it, demo it. Because I can sing. So I would cut it, I would demo it, I would play it, and then they would chart it. And so week after week, and then I would have to get hired, negotiated a crazy amount of money for me, and I would do it week after week. And then on those shows where they needed singers on stage, they would call me.
Yeah.
So now you come and sing your arrangement, but with your singers.
Nice.
And so I didn't know. And so it was like vocal contractor. You're the vocal contractor. And I was like, contractor, what's that name? I had never heard that name before.
Wow.
And so then he goes on to Jay Leno.
Yeah.
And then Simon comes on, and Simon comes on, and Simon leaves American Idol and starts this thing called X Factor. So X Factor is still being cut on the CBS lot. So who do they call? Call the guy. Who's that guy that was doing boom, boom, boom? And so, in the TV world, they all work on all of the shows.
Right.
So call him. So it would be that. And then the Grammys will call it. So it's a network.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just like we say, everybody knows everybody, but I got in through Ricky Minor.
Nice.
I got in through Ricky Minor.
Big shouts to Ricky Minor, dude.
Big ups to my guy. He's a tough cookie.
Is he? What's it like working with Ricky Minor? I've never worked with him.
He's a great guy. He's gonna get you your this and your that, and he's gonna always refer you to this one. I did the latest thing we did was the Whitney movie that just came out. He was the guy on that, and so I did like 2 scenes. You know what I mean for that. But he's just being on time is late.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Being on time is late. He would tell us. He was like, I've gone to gigs where I've been an hour early. I was like an hour early. He was like an hour early.
Wow.
He said when I was doing bass for Gladys Knight, it was like, man, I wanted to be the first one there. I had my charts ready. He was like, today I would be called a geek.
Yeah.
I'll be called a nerd today, but I was ready.
The most prepared person there.
I was the most prepared. So, you know what I mean? When you would send him texts, oh, I'm parking, I'm here, I'm parking. Well, no, you're not here.
Yeah.
It would be stuff like that where you're not here.
You're not here.
You're not here.
Parking.
You're parking.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. He would also tell me, we don't want to hear your concerns.
Wow.
I said, what do you mean? He said, we don't want to hear that it took you all night to write it. Nobody cares.
Yeah. He's like,
I don't care.
You think I'm just showing up and not doing my homework?
And so I'll be like, man, it took me all night, and I would come in there dragging ass, and he would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He was like, nobody cares. He was like, straighten up. Let's go. You're here to do this.
Yeah.
You're in the game. So all of those excuses, he said, you did a great job, but we don't want to hear what it took. Nobody cares.
I love that, dude.
You love that?
I love that.
That's a beat up. That's sucking me out. That's choking me out.
It's not choking you you what I love about that is, first of all, because he's doing it too.
Yeah.
That's why, like you said, he's the most prepared person in the room. That's not just getting there an hour early. That's
Yeah.
staying up late, making all the
Yes,
charts,
sir.
practicing, knowing it inside out, and then being like, I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to shave and
sir.
shower.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to drive there early. I'm going to beat traffic. I'm going to sit there
Yes,
an hour early and wait.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm so it's unfair when someone expects you to do something and they're not doing it. But when they're just holding a standard and it's a high standard, but they're there.
Yes,
And also he's like, I'm at the top.
Yeah.
Hey, I invited you up here.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to give me your all or not?
Yeah.
Right. And I do like the, because it's very easy to complain or to be, oh man, I was up all night doing this or whatever. I understand that, but I think there's a good life lesson in there because like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, are you being excellent? Are you doing what you need to do to be excellent?
Yes, sir.
And maybe you're just this incredibly gifted person that doesn't need to do anything, and you could show up and be like, I didn't stay up all night, but I'm still delivering excellence.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Cool. If you're that special.
Yeah. Some people are.
Maybe some people are, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, you know what? Nothing good comes easy.
Yeah.
You should be blood, sweat, and tears if you're going to be
Yeah.
at the top of this like industry, because if not, there's going to be 1,000 people
there
waiting
are.
right there, chomping
So
at the
true.
bit for your opportunity.
So true.
Yeah, I'll stay up all night.
And we don't
Yeah.
want to hear about it.
Yeah.
That's that's a part of it.
Because it's also kind of adding negativity into the room, even though it wasn't your intention,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Like, but really, he's just like, if he just wants to keep the vibe as like, we're here to work, we're here to crush it, whatever it is. It's like, you're complaining. I don't bring a complaint to me.
Don't bring All
right, you don't want to do this? You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
So,
And he would like, what you think that's, and the other deal that he would say is one last thing that he would say, because I would be so grateful.
I already know where this is going. Thank you so much.
I would do
hey, stop. This is early days for you. That's why. This was early days.
It was the early days. I would be so thankful. I'd be like, Ricky, I just want to say thank you. Or I would write him a text, or I would write him. He was like, that's nice. He was like, but you're in the room. He said, I can put you in the room. He said, but what keeps you in the room is you, not me.
Yeah. I love that.
He was like, you're in the room. He says, your talent. He said, I saw your talent. I put you in the room. But it's you that gets the gig and gets the job and get each season you get coming back.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I'm the one who saw you. I put you there, but it's you that kept you there. So all of the thank you and the gratitude, it's cool, but I don't need that.
Yeah. Once a season. Hey, man, I love doing this with you. Thank you so much. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, the over gratitude is a real thing. Don't do that. Like, be grateful, but the over gratitude is like uncomfortable. It makes me feel uncomfortable. What are you doing?
You're right.
Because like, he wants to forget that you are like, it's like he gives you the opportunity, right? Because he believes in you that you are at his level and you're what he needs, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to forget that you were not at his level right before him. You know what I mean? He wants you to just be great with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
And treat each other with respect. Like, don't ever stop the respect.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between respect and thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much.
So true. So true. You don't want all of that. And even like with God, like, some people be like, yes, thank you, God. And God is like, yo, who you gotta make, I'm an egotist. I don't need all of that. I know you're grateful because I know your heart.
Yeah.
I
just live the gratitude.
There you go.
Yeah.
Live the gratitude. And so he was like, yo, man, just stop. Like, young bro, stop all that.
Yes.
You're here because you belong.
Yes.
And then it would build up character. It would build up a boldness and a confidence in me. He was like, you belong here. He said, I called you because I know you could do it.
Yes.
So you don't have to do all of the, because you, I know that you belong.
It does
here.
Diminish you if you're doing that.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you don't believe in yourself? What's going on here? Yeah. It's like, thank you for babying me and for giving me this chance when I don't deserve to be here.
Yeah, all of that.
You deserve to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. He sounds like a real leader, man, like a real proper executive, too.
He is.
He's got executive mentality, absolutely.
He is. And no, not really a lot of intimidation. If you're dope, you're dope.
Yeah.
man, and I want to be around. Yeah, I took that from him. I want to be around the good. I don't want to be the best in the room.
Yeah.
I really don't, because I want somebody else, not necessarily to challenge me, but I want to surround myself around people. You know, I know some people that say that. You know, you want to be, instead of the big fish in a little pond, you want to be the little fish, and not to mean that you're little, but you want people around you that can.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Ricos and the Devins, man, them guys, they would be tough, bro.
Oh yeah.
They'll be tough on Phil. Yo, man, you got quantized, man. You're Russian. You know what I mean? Just all of that. They don't play, bro.
Yeah.
Them some hard brothers.
Yeah.
You know, yo, man, that's not the count. Yo, that's not the, you know, just all of But we all need that.
Yeah.
So man, are you gonna play it right or not, man? We don't have all night. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You got one chance to get it. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
So that energy,
holding a standard, because they're there too. Yo, get up here.
Get up here. You know what I mean? Not to be disrespectful, but it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's healthy bartering. It's healthy one-on-one, and to say, yo, if you're gonna stay in this room, you know, I know you have some guys in here, but I mean, you've had some guys in this chair.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I know we might be going off, but when I saw JR.
Yeah.
Like, what are those rooms like, bro? Like, I would just be like, yo, you know, the rest of those guys, Teddy, and you know what I mean? Even I just got a chance to work with Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy Jam.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jam got me, you know, connected on this Inflow record, you know, this London album, you know what I mean? Just saw me through social media. It was like, man, I can't wait for us to work. So I got that. But when you had JR, bro, I was like, yo. And then y'all talking about Rock With You, y'all talking about the Fields and the Quincy rooms. I'm just like, you know, those are the things that, you know, and so I would love to be in those rooms like that. And you don't have to be doing anything. You know, some people try to get on. I want to be in those rooms to, you know, to watch and to see and to glean and to get something from it. And I think you can learn from anybody else.
You know, it's so funny you bring up JR and you're saying about being in the room and watching and learning. He talked about this in the interview. He was talking about how when he was done with his parts on when working with Quincy on the MJ stuff, he asked Quincy, because, you know, he was like, all right, you're done. You're like, you can go. And he asked Quincy, like, can I just stay and watch?
Yeah.
And Quincy said, yeah. And so JR would just sit in the sessions and watch.
Yeah. Man.
When everyone else was like, okay, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm
going
out.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going home. He was like, no,
Man.
can I stay?
Yeah. Because it's always an opportunity, man.
Man.
So always an opportunity to glean. And then you sometimes I want to see who I'm working for, how they work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then to know that Bruce is tracking you. You know, it's that stuff, man.
Yeah.
How everybody is on the level. And if you're doing a micro record, you don't have 5-6 engineers. It's Bruce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just stuff like that, you know, when I see that and you listen to those things and the intonation. And if I can say this, I think I heard Quincy say there were a lot of different drummers. There were a lot of different people, but JR was one that had the feel, but his timing was impeccable.
Yeah.
I hear that he could play that click, man. He could make it feel good. He could do all of that and still, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Oh, I got a few other future episodes coming out with some guys I'll tell you after we're done.
Okay.
We're getting the legends in that chair, bro.
I know that's right.
Let's go. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe. Man, I would love to talk a bit about God and faith, and how faith stays so important to you in your life, especially when you enter a mainstream world where it's not right in front of you, or maybe completely hidden. What is, how do you keep faith strong in your life?
Well, I'm grateful for, I think the foundation is everything.
Yeah.
You know, and not to say that those that go into the secular arena that fall or get, you know, succumb to the drugs and then the other things that are in that world. I'm not saying that they don't have that, but I'm just saying my foundation, my deep roots, in not necessarily just church, but in and just right living, good disciplines. You know what I mean? Have just been deep enough to know that. And I think the hours of the teaching, of knowing, you know what I mean? Who is your source? The deep root, the anchoring, and what you're here, who gave you the gift, the talent. And then to go in those rooms and to do what? And so when I go into those rooms, I'm grateful for the faith in God that I have, but more than anything, how can I not, I'm not being funny. How can I not be weird? How can I be in with Ye? How can I, and not be weird, not be so demonstrative? Because, our faith can sometimes, the faith that I come to, it can be a bit demonstrative, but how can you showcase God's love?
Yeah. His
ability to be able to be transformational, you know what I mean? And a lot of times it's not in what you do, it's not in what you do, it's in who you are. I did, man, I don't mean to be saying this, but I was hanging out with Post Malone. I did the Post Malone record, and Andrew Watt.
Yeah.
Andrew Watt, and so Andrew Watt called me. I was in Texas. He was like, "Yo, me and Post, man, we are here, bro, and I need you to get your effing singers here like tomorrow, man. We've got to get this shit." You know what I mean? He's doing that. I was like, "Okay, man, I'm coming." So I get there, and there's some things that are happening in the room. It's just some elements that are there. Post is there, and we begin to sing, and immediately he came in and he began to cross his legs and sat on the floor. No shoes, no socks, no anything. And he began to, and he could feel the love that was in the room, man. And he had just had a baby, and he could feel it. He said, "Man, will you all pray for me?"
Wow.
Can you all pray for me, man? I'm trying to learn how to be a father.
You're talking about Post?
Post.
Yeah, great.
Post is there, and he was like, and it's some stuff going on.
Yeah.
We're in the room with the stuff. You know what I mean? We're in the We Are the World room at Henson. Yeah. But there are elements that are there, and so that didn't make me none. I knew what I was there to do, but because I was on assignment and we were doing that song, he could feel God's love. He didn't feel any judgment or anything like that. And he felt so well to the point that he said, "Man, can you pray for me?" Yeah. We exchanged numbers. We got to keep in contact every 3-4 months. He wanted prayer on how to be, he had this new baby and how to be a better father. You know what I mean? He was like, "Man, I got a little girlfriend." He said, "What can I do?" And so it's that you want to be, I'm grateful for the faith that allows me to go in these rooms and allow you to be you and have the love of God inside of you, that it can be, that it can be warm. I love the saying that say that it takes different bait to catch different fish. You know what I mean? You can't catch a sea bass with a worm. But if you're going to catch a certain kind of fish or be light to certain, you have to do it in a certain way. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it was just the love inside of us that he felt from me and the singers to make him open up to be able to say, "Hey man, come touch my hand." And so we grabbed hands, and so it's that love of Christ. So faith has helped me to be able to go into those rooms and just show the love of God, man, and be that. And then when there's an opportunity, don't go in there saying, "Come on, let's pray." You know what I mean? But if you do it right, if you go in there, just the presence of who you are and the love and the kindness and the gentleness and the sweetness, man, of that will break down, because we're all spirit. We're all spiritual. When I walked in here, you had the cane, you had the all of that, but the deal is you greeted me with love. You started with the hug.
Oh yeah.
You wasn't like, "Yeah, get your ass in here." That wasn't the energy. The energy is, "Hey, hey. So I felt the love. And so if you didn't do anything, you were just who you are.
Yeah.
So the faith inside of you, the faith inside of me that just comes in, and the joy, man, the joy that people need, the energy that they might be having a rough time. They might be on this, it might be on that. But if you can come in there and bring your energy and your hope to the room, your love, and you come in speaking, you come in and say, hey man, what's up, man? How you doing? Some people don't want to touch. Man, get on over here.
Yeah.
Come on, get some of this. And man, what is it about? The next thing you say, what is it about you? Oh man, well man, God is my source, man. I look to him. You know, I do my prayers. Oh man, I would like, it's those little exchanges. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to have a Bible under your arm, and
For sure.
you don't have to do all of that, but just having that love and that care one to another, man.
Yeah.
And if you got all of this from him and none of that comes to me, you and the cameraman, and then what good is it? It has
Man.
to flow. You know what I mean? And that is the opportunity of, hey, okay. Hey man, can you pray for me?
Yeah.
Can you
It's a beautiful question.
that you
Yeah.
got, can you share that with me? How
Yeah.
can I get some of that?
Yeah. I love that, Jason. I love that.
Yeah.
Post is a great guy.
He is.
He's a great guy.
He's a cool guy.
Man, and it's funny, going back to our paths, I got a call to sub on a gig before JAMMCARD. It's Post Malone, Andrew Watt, and this guy, Christian, on guitar. And that's how we met. 6 months later, JAMMCARD comes out. Christian's my right hand.
No way.
Yeah. We
With
quit
Post?
touring. Yeah, Post and Andrew Watt. Yeah.
So-
I was subbing. He was on the gig. I was subbing. Yeah.
He's a hoot, man.
Yeah. He is.
He's a whole hoot. So that's how I know we might get to that, but that's how I got to the Elton John, Stevie Wonder.
Oh, right. It was Andrew Watt.
Andrew Watt.
Yeah.
So we go up to the house, man, and me and NIKKI is like, man, what? So we're working on DONDA with Ye, and I was like, I get this call, and he was like, man, my name is Andrew Watt, and I got your number from Scooter Braun. I was like, okay. Man, I got to do this choir thing, man. I'm doing this duets record. You got to come to my house. I live in Beverly Hills. I live right around the corner from the Beverly Hills Hotel. I was like, okay, cool. So I pick up Nick. I was like, Nick, come roll with me over there. She puts on some clothes, go get her, and we come over there. And man, he's like, this house is like this castle or something. So then we go downstairs, and NIKKI sits down, we sit down, and he starts playing a song. He started playing this song, and we heard his voice. And when I heard Elton's voice, her and I, it was like we were on the schoolyard. It was like we were 5 years old. We just started cheesing.
Right.
We're hearing a raw thing of Sir Elton John. And then when we get to this harmonica comes in. He wouldn't tell us what we were doing, bro. He wouldn't tell us who we were working with. He just hit play. And so we hear this harmonica, and it's a handful of guys that can play harmonica. And Stevie has a whole slur. He has all of that. And he didn't sing on it. It was just a harmonica, and I've been down. It was that voice of Elton's, man. And we basically, man, you could have bought us for like a popsicle. We were like, yo, he stopped the tape and said, like, I need you. And I was like, he's like Ye too. Andrew Watt is like Ye too. I want it yesterday.
Yeah.
Stop whatever you're doing. Whatever you got planned for the night, it's over. You coming to do this, and I need it now.
Yeah.
He's demanding, like he's strong, I should say. He's strong like that. So what are you doing? Oh, well, I got this thing. Well, that's not important in this.
Yeah.
It's not bigger than my thing. So he would talk to us like that. And so that night, I had to scramble the singers together, and we made it happen. But another thing, that energy. So that's how the Elton John thing happened. And we got, again, same room, Henson, B, We Are the World. Got that room. He made one call. We got there. I got the singers, in there. And I don't know what happened. We finished stacking the song, different things like that. And he said, Jason, he waved me in. And he had Elton on FaceTime.
Amazing.
Elton, he has some choice words. Oh man, that shit is amazing, man. Oh my God. Oh, that Kanye's this is the Kanye gospel choir guy. Yeah, it was just I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say all of that.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
great.
man, it was like, yo, and just amazing. But Andrew Watt is, man, he was that guy. So that's how we got that, that moment with Elton John, and so these moments, you know what I mean? I'm just so grateful, man. Grateful to God for these moments, or the Beyonce, Break My Soul.
Yeah. So what you were on Break My Soul?
Break My Soul is
What happened with that?
It's the samples, yeah.
Wow.
So Break My Soul was really her only single off of that.
Yeah.
And so same thing. You get something. It's like they all do the same thing. You're summons.
Yeah.
It's like the bat sign or whatever comes out. And so you're summons. And so you come. So you go to Parkwood, and when at the door you sign your life away. Whatever goes on behind these walls, you can never talk about it. You can never do anything like that. And so we go in there, and we go in, and Dream is there. They put me in a concert room, in a conference room, big table with Dream, and he begins to play this song that him and Beyonce is working on. And she's upstairs, like it's a whole office building compound, whole thing. And he plays it, and he begins to, and I can say this now, he begins to sing me the things. And most of the time I have my phones like this, and you can't see what I'm doing. And so they wouldn't give me the song for me to go right to it.
Wow.
So I just went. And he didn't know that I did it. So I'm recording the song, and I'm recording the ideas that he's given. And I go back. It's just me. I go back, and I was like, yo, Nick, we're going to do NIKKI GRIER. I was like, yo, we're going to do, Break My Soul. She was like, Break My Soul. And I was like, I just got a call from Beyonce. And so I finished it. I got there, hit the button, got that, basically came back, arranged the song, her and I together. And we brought
that night at Parkwood.
Not that night at Parkwood. Guess where we did it? Just guess. Henson.
Same the Studio B.
Same Studio B. Same place. So we cut Break My Soul in there. She had,
because that's kind of hard, because it was like that Big Frida sample, right? Was Break My Soul. Yeah. That's
right. It was the big. So all you can
release yourself. Release your mind.
That's it. Release yourself. And I'm saying, so we
you like choir on this,
right? Choir on this, and so then same thing. We did big vocal. I gave him a lot of stuff. And man, Beyonce is amazing, bro. I mean, like we were, she did the demos basically.
Yeah.
And the choir were in there, you know how when you'd be like, ooh, you hear her do a run, or she doing her vocals and she's doing her stacks, and she got these runs off, and everybody's like, oh, and I got the singers in the room.
Yeah.
But Beyonce she's messing us up, bro.
Wow.
Because we're hearing her backing vocals, we're hearing her demo backing vocals, and they're killer.
Wow.
They're smoking, bro. And her runs off, and her ones off, and this stack over here that's panned over here to the back. And you could just hear all of the details. She's a beast, bro. Don't think all of the dancing and all of the beauty. She's gorgeous. Don't think that chick can, bro. Behind that microphone, she is a beast. She's got it.
She's everything.
She's got it, man. Yeah. I'm not talking about just the this and the body. Like in the room, this microphone, she got it, bro. And so we're, as singers, we're just like, oh my God. And so when we finished, it was like, whoa, we got to stack on that?
Right. Yeah, seriously.
We're about to stack on her? We're about to stack on that. And so, of course, she had people in the room with the videos. She wanted to see how it was going on. It was just a whole thing, man. It was a whole day.
That's so
and
cool,
you
dude.
had, everybody, you signed, you almost signed everything away. You signed your life away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a secure building.
Yeah.
You're going to hate me for asking you this, but I'm going to do it.
Come on, man.
Jason White's top 5 vocalists.
Top 5. Wow. It's interesting. I'm gonna try. Kim Burrell, number 1.
Wow. Straight to number 1.
Yeah, number 1 is great friend. Just iconic vocalist. can sing anything, can hear anything because she's a musician. She plays, but the intonation, I've heard her sing the up, the high. I've seen her sing piano, not piano. I've seen her sing soprano. You know what I mean? So she can almost do, so much. And so Beyonce, number one. I'm a big fan of man, this is hard. I love Aaron Neville. I love the uniqueness. You know what I mean? I love the uniqueness of his vibrato and different things like that. I love that. I'm a big Ron Isley fan. The uniqueness of that voice, of that vibrato. So that, that's, I'm a big fan of that. Whitney.
Yeah.
Like Whitney. When you really just sit down, like, working on the movie and you're getting the ISO tracks, you really hear it. You just
can only imagine.
Yeah, you hear it. Man, how I'm gonna do this in 5. I love the music, but I love his intonation. I'm an 80s music guy, so the 80s music is really big for me. I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna just say singers. I can't do 5, but I'm talking about Luther. Luther was a big one. My next one would be Karen Carpenter.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Great drummer too.
Yeah, great drummer, but her intonation. Her and Richard had something. Her and Richard, it was just so special, man. And so I don't know if you have a Luther Vandross record without the Carpenters.
Yeah. Wow.
You don't. That they were. And so Karen Carpenter, the silkiness of her voice, is just, unbelievable. And so Whitney, Karen Carpenter, Kim Burrell, Luther Vandross. And then Ron Isley. And if I want to just get soul, definitely Aretha and James. So I'm a big Aretha fan. I'm big on people that can accompany themselves. I think you think just because you can play and you can sing that you can accompany yourself. There's 2 different things going on. So for Teddy Campbell and what's his name? Jameson Ross. Jameson Ross. Jameson Ross? These are guys that sing and play.
Oh yeah.
They sing. Oh yeah. There's a whole thing that's going on because you have to do this. Yeah. The brain is doing that, but then you're singing. You got to remember words. Anderson Paak
doing it at a super high level.
Yeah. To be able to do it at that
kind of Phil Collins. He would still.
Yeah. Yeah.
He kind of stepped away from the drums.
Stepping away, but being able to do that. So people that can accompany, and some people are not great at it.
It's hard to do.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
So Aretha was great at it. Ray was amazing at it.
Yeah.
So Ray Charles. So those are the guys. I'm a big PJ fan.
Yeah.
So when you're able to accompany yourself and still be able to sing, Kim can really do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so Aretha was just she's a big fan of mine. The other reason why I really love Aretha is that she could take your stuff and just beat you over the head with it, with your song. You know what I mean? The young people don't know Respect is not her song. Respect is Otis Redding. You know what I mean? Bridge Over Troubled Water, that ain't her song. You know what I mean? That's Paul Simon. Her ability to take, just things and make it her own. Young, Gifted, and Black, and all these other amazing hits. So she was amazing in that, right? And then,
so what about the singers of today? What about the people that are like up and coming out right now, rising in the scene?
I'm a huge Usher fan. I'm a huge Usher fan. I've heard him live. I've heard him with he can really sing.
He can sing.
I love his falsetto. His falsetto. I don't know about who's coming out today because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed. I did
until you're in the studio. Until they're like, "I'd love to work with you, Jason." You're like, "Sure." And then who is that?
I did his wedding.
That is young Harry Styles.
Yeah, young Harry Styles. I did his wedding.
Her name is Billie Eilish,
right.
Jason.
Right. People like that, I need to find out who they are.
Yeah.
I haven't worked with them like that.
Yeah.
I
You discover artists by working with them, by getting the call and working with the young artist.
So I did Charlie Puth's wedding. Sunday Service did,
nice.
his wedding. But I think he's a great singer.
And an amazing musician.
Amazing musician.
Yeah, real good musician, yeah.
So there it again, that ability to be able to hear, to be able to sing, the intonation. Yeah. But today I don't really know too many. Not today. I kind of like Lucky Day. He sounds like the records.
Yeah, for sure.
So I heard him down at a thing. He sounds like the records.
Big.
I don't know too many. Like I said, I don't know too many others, but because there's so much sauce on the records.
Yeah.
The records today are very saucy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because they're saucy, you don't know what's authentic or what's added. It's almost impossible. I mean, I use it too. It's almost impossible to do a record without auto-tune.
Yeah,
it's impossible. And auto-tune doesn't necessarily mean that you're out of tune. It's
a sound.
Yeah, it's a sound, and it's
like an instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the T-Pain auto-tune. I'm talking about just...
And he can actually sing.
He can sing.
He can sing damn good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just that ability, I don't know a lot of, I don't know a lot of, so the people that didn't use it, the Marvin Gayes and those guys, that was just
the Jason White.
The Jason Whites, the Donny Hathaways and all of those people.
Oh, and then Layla too.
And Layla.
Oh man.
Like, oh man. You know what I mean? So
how does your business operate? Like Jason White, the samples, do you have a team? Is it just you, manager? Like, what is your core?
That's good. It all depends what's asked.
Yeah.
Basically. There are certain things that I want to do by myself.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things I want to do on my own, or I don't necessarily need management for.
Right.
I'll go make the deal and but then there are some things that I want maybe just the manager of the choir and then a few singers.
Yep.
There are times when I just want my own. I want to call them individually. I'll get another response for them. From them. When they hear from me directly instead of a cattle call. Hey, be at the boom boom boom.
Someone's reaching out on behalf of Jason.
So it all depends. It all depends on what has been asked. And Blackstone calls and he was like, yo, I need a national anthem for boom, boom, boom. Can y'all do that? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to hand that off to one of the arrangers and we're going to work it out. And then I'm going to call the choir and we're going to do it. But if you're asking for an entity, if you're asking for the samples or you're asking for Sunday service, then that's when I have to involve other people. Now to do the Jennifer Hudson Christmas, that was different. I got a call from Ryan Tedder's people.
Mm-hmm.
So in that's a little more.
Dana? Did Dana call you?
Yeah. You know Dana?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana called me. So we
I know everyone, Jason.
I know, baby. I know, honey. I know, baby.
Sorry, keep going.
You do. Dana called. So I was dealing with Dana. Then finally I met Ryan and same thing. When he found out that I can play. So the first song was like Oh Holy Night.
Nice.
With and so, how can I say this and still be nice? You know how it is when you get called for something and they just call you, but then when they hear you, then they're like, oh. So that was kind of a situation like that. And then, okay, he's going to come play piano and he's going to sing. He's going to teach Jennifer. So I was vocal producing Jennifer. I vocal produced the record.
Got it.
Basically. But these were songs that I played as well. And so when he heard, he wasn't there. So when he heard the playing and the singing, then all of a sudden, then I get the visit. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
And so that was different. I needed to incorporate management You know what I mean?
For sure.
For that, and just making sure, because that's another conglomerate. That's not just something that I could do. I'm gonna need management to think of the things that I won't think of,
For
and
sure.
then I need to be able to be creative.
Yeah.
That's a room. Ryan Tedder, Jennifer Hudson, Interscope Records. That's a record that that's an album that I need to be creative, and I need to make sure that the management is taking care of the business.
But your work is mostly coming from just people calling you. They get your number. They either know you or they got their number from someone. And they hit you up. Yeah,
that's how
straight to Jason.
That's how it's still happening. I know him. Do you know him? Do you know him? Or every blue moon, like I guess there's a rave DJ called Black Coffee, and he's looking for me. So, but management just hits me like a DM and say, so sometimes you respond to things like that, but it's still all really kind of like word of mouth. I don't have an agent as of yet.
Yep.
But is that how that works? I mean, I'm sure you've got 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
No, I'm sitting here. It funnels in, or I funnel out. Hello, I got an idea for you. It comes. Yeah, people call me with like, hey, can you do this? And then also I'll reach out to people being like, you should let us do this.
Oh.
Like, yo, I got an idea for you. Like, we'll reach out as JAMCARD. We'll reach out to people and be like, yo, we got ideas for you. Check this out. You know, just putting in pitches.
Love it.
But most of the stuff I think that ends up converting into real business is like incoming.
Really?
But you got to also try, you know?
Yeah.
You got to grow the business.
Yeah.
You can't just sit with it.
Well, and I know you're interviewing me. I'm not interviewing you, but I got a couple questions.
That's fine. Let's go.
Do you come up with these things? Are you nervous to ask?
Never.
You never.
How Quincy happened?
I'm just saying, but any of them, you're not. You just go for them.
Go for it.
Really?
Yeah, go for it. I'm never nervous to ask because, first of all, it's like I won't ask someone something that I don't think I'm bringing them something dope.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? And my whole thing is like, I'm not like, okay, so Quincy Jones invested in JAMCARD, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to Quincy Jones and being like, will you give me money?
Yeah.
That's not how it works, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, let me present you an opportunity. I'm doing this. Here's what I'm building. This is where I'm taking it. Do you want to be a part? I'd love to have you be a part.
Okay.
I think the world of you.
Yeah.
And I would love to have you be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'm doing it no matter what. You want to join me?
Mm-hmm.
That's the approach, right?
Yeah.
In a very kind way.
Yeah.
Quincy is Quincy's in a whole other stratosphere, right? So how that happened was, I saw that Quincy Jones followed us on Instagram. Christian was with me. We were freaking out, right? Like we got the follow from Quincy Jones. Then I saw that Adam Fell, who's Quincy's manager, got on JAMCARD, like became a member of JAMCARD. And I saw like, Adam Fell, Quincy Jones Productions. So so clearly they heard about it. They they entered the building, right? So I messaged Adam like, hey man, nice to meet you. Let me know if you have any questions. And he wrote me back on JAMCARD and he was like, hey, great to meet you. Really cool what you're doing here. Like, where are you going with this? And I just wrote back, let's have a meeting. Scheduled a meeting with Adam and told Adam, yo, here's where I'm going. This is what's going on. This. He asked me a ton of questions. I give a ton of answers. He vets it. He brings it to Quincy. That's it. That's how Quincy happened. Right. And then I told them from day one, I was like, it would be incredible to have Quincy as an investor. I'd also love to have him as an advisor. Right. So anyways, met Quincy, did that whole thing. It was incredible. Right. So that's how that one happened. Every investor, every deal closed, everything is a unique story, right, of how it happens. But essentially I saw a crack in the door. I saw Quincy and his team kind of just looking in. Yeah. So I was like, what's up? Yeah. Welcome.
But that confidence, that boldness, you know what I mean, to go and what? So what was your thing? What's the worst could happen? They say no, or what's
the worst? And like all I said was the first thing I said to Adam, because Adam had to bring me to Quincy, right? He's like the gatekeeper of Quincy, right? He's his manager. What I said to Adam was, hey man, welcome, because he was in the app.
Yeah.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah.
I'm not like, hey man, would love to. Can we talk business? Would love to get Quincy involved in this. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Like that would feel super eager and like weird and kind of desperate, right? So I was just like, yo, man, let me know if you have any questions. And he was like, this is really cool. Where are you taking this? And I was like, let's have a meeting because I'm not going to write you. It's a long ass answer.
That's right. That's right.
I'm going to talk to you for 45 minutes about where I'm taking this and lay it out for you. I've been thinking about this for years.
But I think the part for you to be able to say, let's take a meeting.
Yeah, let's take a meeting.
And they say, yeah.
And if he said, hey, no, thank you, or if he just ghosted me, which happens all the time in the industry, right?
It does.
If we're going to walk down the hypothetical path, if he wouldn't have written me back, like maybe just left me on scene or whatever, I would have followed up a week later. Yo, man, checking back on this. Would love to meet up. And if he ghosted me again, I'm out. But because people are busy, man, it's Hollywood, it's entertainment. Like, so just because someone doesn't write you back doesn't mean that they're saying no to you. They could just forget, or right when they were like writing you back, a call came in and they're doing a deal, or they're whatever, or a fire happens, or you know what I'm saying?
But you're on the other side of it in your feelings. You're on the other side of it in your mind.
But you can't let yourself get there, right? You have to like give them the benefit of the doubt and give yourself the benefit of the doubt that maybe they just got busy, and like I reach out, my team knows this, like I'll reach out to whoever to ask anything. I reached out to be like, yo, man, congrats on the album. You want to do the pod? Let's talk about it, right? Like, so I don't mind asking because all I'm doing, how I look at it and what I always tell my team, like all we're doing is bringing people opportunities. Yo, here's an opportunity. If you'd like to, let's do it. Or hit me with any questions you have about it. Because I don't expect, you don't have to say yes right now. You can have 20 questions for me and I'll give you 20 answers.
That's good, Al.
And it's also like, and if you get a no is never forever. It's no for now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you talk to someone, whatever, you want to do, I don't know, you want to be on a Paul McCartney album and you meet him and you say, hey dude, I'd love to work with you. And he's like, oh yeah, cool. Not at the moment, or whatever it is. It's like, you can't never take that no as no forever. And also you don't want to block yourself out because it only will become a no forever if you handle that no the wrong way. Okay. If someone's like, oh man, not right now or whatever. And you're like, you get butthurt, right? Then they're gonna be like, I'm not working with this guy. This guy's, but if you're just like, cool, man. Yeah. Hit me up. It's all right place, right time. It has to be right place, right time. Right. So I'll go after 20 things, hoping that 1 or 2 or 3 of them actually ends up happening, expecting 17 to not happen. And if more than that happen,
expecting 17 to not,
you
got to go after 20.
I'll go after 20 opportunities at once, knowing that if 1 closes, cool. If 2 closes, great. If 3 closes, epic. If 4 closes, I'm balling. Right? No way 20 are going to close because it could be the wrong time for them, or they missed it, or they didn't even see it, or they're busy, or whatever it is, right? There's different situations for all of it. But what it comes down to is all I'm going to do is present you with an opportunity that's like, yo, hey, I'm doing this. I thought you'd be amazing for it. Are you interested in hearing more? I'm not going to beg you. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're interested, I'd love to work with you on this. Here's what I'm thinking. Right. Yeah. Or no. And if it's no, man, hey, yo, I can't right now. I'm slammed. I'm not going to be like, dude, come on, please prioritize this. Because it may be like it may be you, and you'd be maybe be like, L, I love you, bro. I can't right now. I'm super busy. And I'm going to be like, I hear you. Of course you are. You're Jason. You're busy. I'll hit you next time, or hit me up when you're around. Because you always want to, man, it's all relationships.
Yes, sir.
If you said that, if you gave me the no, I'm too busy right now, and then I was like, man, forget Jason, bro. What the heck, man? I asked him to be on my pod. He said no, he's busy. Then you're gonna feel weird about me, and I'm gonna feel weird about you. Yeah. And it's just like, man, he's busy. He's doing his thing. Cool. Maybe 6 months from now, prime example, Adam Blackstone. Adam and I were talking. We were talking about the pod. I was like, dude, you should come do the pod. He was like, yeah, man, I'd love to. I'm back in town in a month. I'm like, cool. So we schedule it. That day, a month later, Adam's supposed to be on the pod. He doesn't live here, right? So he flies in LA. We're here, we're ready to go. And he was like, dude, I am so sorry. I am slammed. This happened, whatever. He's busy. Mm-hmm. So I didn't write him back being like, dude, come on, man. We were prepared. Yeah. What the heck, man? You told me a month ago. Yes. I wrote him back being like, yo, man, I understand. Do your thing. Do your thing. We'll do it in the future. And then I never asked him to do it again. And then a couple months later, he hit me up. What's up? What's up, Elmo? Yo, I'm gonna be in town next week. Let's do the pod. I was like, let's do it, bro. It's just, he's busy. I'm busy. It'll all work out at the right time. You know, I'm not gonna get butthurt that he canceled on me. Just like I don't want someone to get butthurt if I cancel on them because I'm just like, bro, I'm overwhelmed right now. I got too much on my plate. I'm so sorry. I committed to you. I can't do this. I'm gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a great level of, I think for me, that's a great level of confidence, but maturity.
Yeah.
You know, being secure, you know what I mean? And I love it that you have put that on yourself. 1, 2, then 3.
Yeah.
Because most people are 1, man. But you're gonna follow it up. And you have the resolve of that something's wrong or they're really busy.
Yeah.
Not to internalize it.
Don't take it personally.
Yeah, make it about you.
And what was cool is, so then it does come back around and Blackstone hits me up. Yo, I'm going to be in town next week. Let's do it. And that just makes me have even more respect for him. Because, yo, I came back, told you I was coming back around. I came back around. It's like, awesome, man. I will do the same for you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
We're all just doing our best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're all just doing our best. And luckily we get so busy to the point that we're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then in that place, you just got to be empathetic of people and know that, hey, maybe maybe there's something personally happening to them right now behind the scenes. You never know what's going on in people's lives, man. That's so I'm never upset whenever it happened. And then, cause I know it's just like, man, and I mean, you're a man of faith, right?
Yeah.
So if like, it's the same thing. Like if something doesn't happen right now, yo, it's not meant to be right now. If it comes back around and happens, it was meant to be, and it'll be awesome.
It'll be awesome.
You know? And whether that's in a week or a month or a year or 10 years, you know, you just never know. So don't burn your bridges.
Yeah.
Don't take things personally, you know, do your best, hold the bar high like Ricky Minor, and tell people come up like Christian, like, you know, we were earlier today, right? We were dealing with a client that was pissing us off. Big client too, huge company. And I was like, man, nah, I'm gonna write them right now. They wrote us this email being like, oh, will you guys do this? Is this for us? And I was just like, no, this is out of scope. And they were being we haven't said who it is, so it doesn't matter. They're being idiots, and they were like acting like idiots. And I was like, bro, we're up here. We keep the bar up here. If you want to come up here, we'll work with you. I'm not coming down there to work with you, even if you're a huge company. Let's go. So I wrote them an email.
Of course.
A nicer one.
Yeah.
That was just like, hey, we're not aligned. You know, I think what you're asking is actually not fair for this, and I don't think we're a right fit for each other. Like, good luck with all of this. Peace.
And it's cool.
It's cool. You know, it was stern enough to where I think they'll read it and be like, we actually did fuck up. Like, they fucked up, right? Like, his boss is going to read it. His boss is on the email. The guy's boss is going to read it and be like, what did you do, dude? That's the other thing, man. There's a lot of just normal people, not that talented, a lot of not that talented people working at big companies. You know, don't let someone, especially if they got ego, like, oh, I represent whatever, Adidas you were talking about, right? Or whoever, not that this was Adidas, but like, just because someone works at Adidas doesn't mean that they're all that. They can be whack.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So,
it's good stuff.
Anyways, man.
Good stuff.
Well, you know who's not whack? It's Jason White. We love Jason White, man.
I'm glad to be here. Elmo, I want to say thank you, man. Of course, we did the sample pack. You saw us. You heard me. I do remember you. I remember your clips from Sunday service. You know what I mean? I remember you standing behind those guys. I remember Phil asking. I remember me asking Phil who you were.
Nice.
Tell me, you know, about it. I remember when Phil's pack came out. I was like, whoa. I was like, how'd you, you know me? How'd you get this? Like, you know what I mean? And then the pictures were good. And then how you had him set up, you know, in the room and the organ. And I was like, and it was so unassuming.
Yeah.
It just happened. And, you know, and so I was like, whoa. He was like, man, JAMMCARD. And so then he was like, let me send you, Phil is the big plugger. He's the big plugger. So then Phil, once again, yo, man, hey, you know, blah, 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 meet Elmo, da, da, da. And then he sent the app. He It's like, man, you should be a part of the app. You know, you need to get an app and different things like that. And so kept going, and then acquire a sample pack. And so Nikki and I and the team really kind of like got together, you know, really to make that happen. So it was just special. And then more than anything, like what you're talking about now, the energy, the connection. You know what I mean? That was just so beautiful. And then, you know, we met the SPLICE guys, and it's just good stuff. And then the JAMMJAM.
Ooh, the JAMMJAM.
JAMMJAM was so right on. Frogstown.
That, by the way, still to this day, is the only full JAMMJAM that we have released on YouTube.
Really?
Because it was so good.
Yeah.
Normally all the JAMMJAM videos, like 1 song, 2 songs.
Yeah.
We choose clips.
Yeah, clips.
We dropped that your whole performance. Go listen to the samples, Jason White, Sunday Service Choir, the JAMMJAM.
The JAMMJAM, yeah.
Was incredible. It's a full hour long. We dropped a full hour.
That's right.
JAMMJAM on YouTube. That's amazing. There's the Samples Choir sample pack on Splice. There's also Phil Cornish, Sunday Service Keys on Splice. Those are great packs. And
great packs.
Thank you, Phil Cornish. Much love, my bro.
Much love, baby.
And my brother Devin Six Taylor also.
Absolutely.
Who I'm pretty sure was the one that invited me that day to Sunday service that day.
Oh wow. It's great what he's doing, man. Great.
Oh, dude, Devin's rise, man.
Man.
He deserves it all, bro.
Absolutely. Beautiful guy.
He's the best. And yeah, dude, let's do some more stuff, Jason. Come on.
Oh, man, we're not done. I look forward to it. And thanks for having me, man. Glad to be here.
Don't say thank you too many times. Though.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Hey, and if I call you and I'm like, yo, man, let's do this thing, and you say no, I'm gonna be like, I still love you.
Man, I had to travel to be here. I was like, I'm going to see Elle, man. I'm going to be a part of. And like I said, the people that were on, you know, I've been watching. And then when I talk to, you know, he drops every now and then too, guys. You know what I mean? He drops. You know, yeah. You know, next week I'm dropping, you know, Chris, you know, Pooley. You know what I mean? I was like, oh.
All the greats, man.
You're coming behind Pooley. I was like, oh. But that's just good stuff. And like I said, man, for you to be able to get, you know, the level, the upper echelon, it's just a beautiful thing, man. And it's just great. And they have a lot to say. The food is great.
Yeah.
The food that they're serving, the experiences, the intellect, as well as the, you know what I mean, the nuggets.
Yeah, absolutely.
The nuggets are really great. What to live by, how to act on jobs, and how to, you know what I mean, how to keep your craft together, how to keep, you know, you on edge, and all of that good stuff, man, that makes things, you know what I mean, great. I know that a person can have, there are people that you do packs with, there are people that you do jams with, and then there are people that you do podcasts with, and they're not all the same.
Ooh!
I'm gonna just say that.
Trifecta, dude.
They're not all the same. Everybody that gets a pack don't get an interview. Everybody that gets a JAMMJAM don't get an invite to the podcast. And so I'm honored to be behind the chair.
You may be the only one.
Everybody don't get behind this chair right here. So
got all the invites.
So I had to call Delta and say, hey man, let's go. Fire up the plane, Delta. I'm going to LA.
Let's go. Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Jason White, the greatest to ever do it. Let's go, Jason.